Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So it's time for my updated Q&A. I do one of these about every 6 months, so if you want to ask any questions, make sure that you're either subscribed to me here on YouTube and you will see the post on my community post, or if you're following me on Instagram, I also post it on my Instagram stories. So the first question is from Chrissy Love. What is your most used bag at the moment? Apart from the Neverfull, which I use every day for work, probably my two most used bags at the moment are these. I'm going through a real phase of using this bag. I have been using this bag such a lot. I just seem to gravitate towards it. It's a bag that I'm reaching for and I'm looking for ways to use or times to use. I just love it. It goes with so much. The colours of it, I think maybe because it has a black background and I'm not really a black bag lover, but it goes with so much and I just think it's such a vibe and it's funky and I love it. The colours just win my heart, and then this is just, she's my ride or die. I love this bag. When I am going out, I was out last Friday night and I smashed the back of this because I dropped it running across the road, but we'll say no more about that. She bounced off the road and yeah, love her. So probably apart from the Neverfull, these two are two of my most used at the moment. Dale from Dale's Addiction, hi. So Dale asks me, how many pints of Guinness can a 5'1" bag obsessed woman drink? I'm actually a bit of a lightweight. I don't actually really drink Guinness. Now, the few of the very important men in my life drink quite a lot of Guinness. It's a very Irish drink, obviously. It's something that will always be at the table, but I don't really drink it. It's very, very heavy. If I have a pint of Guinness, I feel like I've had a 3-course meal. It's very, very heavy, so it's not actually a drink I drink that much of. But if you want to insert how many cocktails can a 5'1" woman drink, just ask the petite Mal that got bounced off the road as we ran across at the end of the night, because probably the answer to that is too many. Ruthie McLean, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Specifically family, work and YouTube. Family, my boys will be do the math, Amelia. 12, nearly 13, and 9. Oh wow. So probably not really anywhere different, because they'll still be at school. They will still be, the youngest one will still be in primary school. I think I will still be working as well. I own my own company, so I don't see myself changing my employment anytime soon. I will be 47, so I have no desire to retire that early. I think I'd be bored stupid and I think I'd be doing everybody's head in. I'm also very fortunate that I love what I do and I can't imagine not doing it yet, or even within 5 years. So I don't think that there will be much change for me, family or work. I am certainly not in the market for having any more children, although I love and adore the two that I have. But I am not. If you ever see that video, you'll know that's been a little surprise. And we have 4 dogs at the minute. I don't think that within the next 5 years, something happens to them. I've just had that thought that because they are 13 this year, and that might be a change in my family, because 2 of my dogs are 13, and I can tell you now I will be an absolute basket case. I will be shattered whenever something happens to those 2. So that might be a very unwelcome change within the next 5 years, and I only thought about that there. So that might be a change. If the gods are smiling and they're still here, I don't think there'll be a change in that. I don't think my husband is welcome. I don't think my husband is open to more than 4 dogs. I think that he thinks that's enough. YouTube, if that question means do I think that I'll be doing any change of YouTube and doing it full time? No, I can't ever imagine doing YouTube full time. It's not something I aspire to. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's a sideline. It's a bit of crack, and it's a bit of an escape from what my day job is and running a company. I don't think if I did it full time, I would enjoy it the same. I think I would feel pressure now when I want to talk to you guys, which at the minute is still all the time. I really enjoy it. But if that stopped being the case, I don't have to keep doing it because it's not my employment, and I don't have to talk about things I don't want to talk about. I take brand sponsorships that I like and that I want to do. I'm under no pressure to do them because I don't have to earn a certain amount of money from them. And I think that's, for me, the position that works really well. If I want to talk about a video that I don't think is going to perform particularly well, I still talk about that because I don't have to have a certain amount of views, and I think that's how it works best for me. I think keeping it fun like that is what keeps me interested in it. Do I think I will still be doing it in 5 years? At the moment, yes I do, because I really enjoy it, but I don't know if that will change, and I don't know if I'll still feel like that in 5 years time, but I hope I still enjoy it. I hope it's still a good lot of crack, and I'm still doing it alongside my day job because I do find it a really fun escape from that, and it's just light compared to the stuff that I deal with every day can be quite heavy and very intense. So this is like light relief. Luxury in reality, favourite designers, high to mid-end, casual but with an edge. Apart from bags, I don't really wear very much designer clothes. I do have a couple of pieces from Gucci. I have a Dior shirt. I have a Chanel jumper. I don't really wear a lot of designer. The vast majority of my clothes are high street. I wear my All Saints leather jacket to death. I did used to wear a lot of Ted Baker, but that has gone into administration, so we don't know what's going to happen there. I am wearing Goila at the minute. My jeans are from H&M and my trainers are actually Adidas at the minute rather than any of the designer ones that are sitting over here. So I'm not a big designer clothes wearer. Maybe that's something that will change in the future, but I have always kind of been bag obsessed and most of my wardrobe's high street. Going to Mustafa, not a question, but I wish could you show us your dogs, love your channel. I will try to show them more. I am on the upper floor, they are 2 floors down from us. So when I film here, they're very rarely up here for me to show them, but I adore them. They're the light of my life. I'll put a picture of them on the screen. Mel Downs, when are you travelling to Australia? I wish sooner. I do think we will travel to Australia. I lived in Australia for a year. I absolutely adore Australia. I very much am drawn to the weather, to the beaches. I love the beach. I love the sea. I love the water. I love the outdoor lifestyle. I wish it didn't rain as much here. We have family over there as well. So as well as obviously Dale and Meredith and Connor being over there and more of you guys being over there, we actually have immediate family in Australia as well. So I do think that that will happen. My youngest is 4. I don't think it will happen until he is just that little bit older because the 24-hour flight, mummy would need a vodka for that, to be quite honest. Mrs. Bradler 2019, first designer bag advice. I likely only get 1, maybe 2, so need it to be versatile and classic but quirky. Okay, I have videos on this about your first 5 bags or your first 2 bags. I think if you're going to get 2, and this is obviously very individual to every single person, but if I was going to have 2, I would have a functional bag that I could use most days. And then I would have a showstopper that I just loved, that I just thought was fabulous. And I would probably have, for me, an everyday bag, the Neverfull. That was my first bag for work. There's one in here somewhere. Just to carry all of my work stuff, because that's what I need for work. I carry a laptop, I carry 2 laptops actually, and I carry a tablet, and no wonder I have a sore shoulder. And I carry a lot of things in my bag. But if it was not something as big as that you needed, I would get a more casual crossbody bag to wear that's big, that you could put everything in. What comes to mind is the Loop Hobo from Louis Vuitton, something like that. I would then have a bag that is either like one of those Fendi sequence baguettes, or I would have a Petite Mal, probably. I adore that, and it's a showstopper for night. I would have one that I just loved to take out and made my heart sing. And anything else that I needed that was functional. There's a lot of good contemporary bags that would fill that void. Like I have the, Atelier Auguste is what I take to work as a crossbody. This is a mid-range bag rather than taking a designer bag. I take my Chanel Classic flap sometimes, but sometimes it's not really appropriate. I think there's good contemporary bags you can fill gaps with. I also, let me show you this. I wore this bag from Basile to a concert because I could put it around me and I didn't have to worry about the weight or carrying it. This also comes with a strap. I will link Atelier Auguste and Basile down below in the description box. This comes with a chain strap as well, so you can get good contemporary versions of a lot of bags. So if I was going for 2, it would be an everyday bag and a showstopper. Nancy Garnon TV, that's a fabulous question. Which of your outfits, including bag and shoes, would Carrie Bradshaw wear? Okay, if I have a picture of this, I will put it in. I have a deep pink fuchsia type colour, big full skirt. I then have the Instagram Louboutin boots. I wore it with a t-shirt and I wore the purple Fendi sequins baguette with it. And I loved it. If I can, I should have pictures to show you what that went together. Carrie Bradshaw would wear that. Carrie Bradshaw would wear those boots. That is the Carrie Bradshaw baguette. She would absolutely wear that outfit. Vincent87 asks, have you taken vacation to Orkney or any other place in Scotland via ferry? Maybe when I was a lot younger. I tend to fly now because I'm time poor and the ferry takes longer. I maybe went to Scotland when I was much, much younger on the ferry, but if I did, I can't remember. And what is your favourite part of Ireland? Oh, Ireland's stunning. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. If somebody could just have a word and sort the weather out, to be blunt. Galway's fabulous. I love Donegal. I love the North Coast. I'm in Dublin a lot. It's a fabulous country. It just needs some sunshine. Brody 1985, does your hair take ages to do with your extensions in? Mine seems to. Genuinely not since I bought the Dyson. So I have the Dyson Airwrap, and I used to use the hairdryer part on the extension, and then I use the Zuvi Halo hairdryer. And I think I have a discount code for that. If I do, I will link it down below on the top of my head, because my own hair is very, very fine and I lost a lot of my hair through pregnancy. It never really grew back and I still lose a lot of hair. And it's a very gentle hair dryer and it is made specifically for people with thin hair or hair loss. And I use that on the top of my head. And then I did use the Airwrap on the extensions. I have now since bought the proper Dyson hairdryer. I got it on sale. If it's still on sale, I will link it down below. And I use that to blast the extensions. I get my own hair up in a clip. I use that to do the extensions. And then I use the Zuvi on the top. And it doesn't take just as long now because the Dyson on the extensions is quick. My own hair never takes very long because it's so thin and kind of useless. Wild Unfiltered, there's my girl. Been a while since you bought a bag. It has, Deb. It has. I have a video coming on that actually, or maybe it's already out. Are you going to splurge in New York? Asking for a friend. I think I probably am. There hasn't been a new bag released in a while that has made me absolutely love it and think I want to buy you and give you all of the monies. But I do have a long-term wish list of bags that I've missed. And one of the things I'm looking forward about in New York is Fashion File and the consignment stores. There is so much more choice over there than what we have in the UK and Ireland of pre-loved bags. And I think I will probably buy one that I can't get. So an older bag, but that will hopefully be available in one of those consignment stores. I don't intend to buy a huge amount in New York that you can buy anywhere else that's new, because the exchange rate for us at the minute's terrible. And they have that pesky sales tax to add on that we obviously don't have. Deb also asks, when will I be there drinking Guinness with you? Get on a plane, my friend. Well, you're in Italy at the minute, but come over, come and drink Guinness. I will take you to the pub and we will drink Guinness and it'll be the best of crabs. Fan from Africa, have you ever been? Yes, I have. I adore your country, your continent. I have been twice. So when I was younger, I was in South Africa on a sports tour. And I was in Johannesburg, Port Elizabeth, Durban and Cape Town. I then have also been in Tanzania and I would go back to Africa in a heartbeat. I actually do think that we will go back because my children, I'm animal obsessed and I know I get the hypocrisy because I have leather bags and that's been pointed out to me before. But I love animals. We have 4 dogs here. There's cows in that field. There's sheep in that field. There's a lot of animals around us. And my children, especially my oldest, is such an animal lover. And both of them are so good with the dogs. But he is, you can see it, I suppose with him being a bit older, he adores animals. So we have said that we will take them on safari whenever they get a bit older. I don't think they could do it just yet. The Closet by Connor. Hi, my friend. My Irish lass. My Irish man. How are you? I believe an Australian trip is on the cards. I believe it is too. I think that I need to get that fast tracked and suddenly there is an urge to go and visit family, immediate family and extended family, and come back to Australia. I love Australia as a country. There is so much there. There's so many options. There's just the landscape, everything. Amazing. So yes, I agree with you, my friend. That is on the cards. Cat HKOR asks, best bar in Belfast to get a Guinness. We like Whites and McHugh's. I love Whites. Whites at the minute is one of my favourite bars. You will find us in there for after work drinks quite a bit, especially the new Whites. I think it's fabulous. I also really like the Heart Bar, and I also really like the Errigal. For a pint as well. We would go to those places for drinks. And then Karen Anav, I'm sorry if I'm not getting that right, asks, what do you do for a living? I own a company, we work in professional services, and I work in it full time. J12 Vix asks, and I have a number, I'm just going to link these all together. I have a number of questions about weight loss. You can really see how much weight you've lost. Well done you. I've got questions like that. Thank you so much for that. I've also got questions on how I've got lost weight, and I've got questions on if I'm using the injections, OZEMPIC I think it's called. Thank you very much firstly for saying that. It has been a long struggle. And if you want me to do, I've got a few requests to do a video on my weight loss journey, and I can think about putting that together. I have lost now nearly 3 stone. I put weight on. My dad died very, very suddenly. We had also been through a number of other things, and I put 3 stone on historically within 3 months. That, for somebody who is 5'1", is a lot of weight to put on a very short space of time, and I couldn't get it off. I would kind of go up a bit and down a bit and up a bit and down a bit, but I couldn't get on top of it. And then I came back from London last September when I was there on the YouTube trip, and I'm just going to be very frank and honest about this. There were a lot of vlogs put up on that trip. I put them up, a lot of us put them up, it was fabulous, and I caught myself in the back of some of them, and I thought, oh, who is that? I felt huge and round, and this is not me shaming anybody for their size or for their weight. I am all for body positivity, but for me, I have to feel my own body positivity. I have to feel comfortable and confident in how I look and feel, and I didn't. I felt awful when I saw myself in the back of those vlogs and videos, and I decided that it was time to actually do something about it. But that was not just, this is probably a video on its own, because that meant there were other things in my life I had to get on top of and sort out. I've talked before about burnout and work and mental health and all of that. So there was other things I had to do that were kind of blocking me from being able to deal with the weight gain. And eventually I got on top of it, and I just was able to gradually get off. It's taken me from October, and we are now at the end of June. So 9 months it has taken me to lose. I think I am just about 3 pounds under 3 stone, and I feel so much better for it. And for me, it was the right thing to do. I have not used, and I've been asked if I've used OZEMPIC. I haven't. No criticism or no judgment on anybody that has. It's not as readily available here. If it had have been, if I'd walked into the doctor's and he had said to me, there's this little injection you can take and you put it in your stomach every day and it'll help you lose weight because you won't be hungry, I probably would have said, where do I sign, if I'm honest. And so me not taking it is because it wasn't prescribed, it wasn't readily there. I would have been very tempted to take it if it had been an option. But no, I haven't used Ozempic, and I have really done it by gradually cutting down what I've eaten. As I sorted out a lot of other things in my life though, that it became easier to do that. Lisa CM31 asks, do you have Chanel Walk? No, I don't. I prefer the mini rectangle, which is actually that shape. That's the reissue. It's that shape. I don't have a walk. I can see how they're very, very useful though, but I generally go for the mini rectangle. Nick went shopping. Would you ever hold a meetup in Belfast, Dublin for bag lovers? Oh, would anybody come? Would anybody actually want to come? Maybe if there's Guinness, you might want to come and you can get a pint of the black stuff. I haven't really thought about it because I don't really think that there'd be enough people that would want to come. Maybe in Dublin, I suppose, because it's more central and there's maybe more people shopping there because obviously Brian Thomas is there, but it's not something I've ever actually really given much thought to be honest. And then I'm going to ask this question, and I'm sorry if I'm being rude. I have just tried to say your name and I'm butchering it, so I'm not going to, but I have a question respectfully. What became you to love Chanel? Oh, there's a few questions. We'll start with that. So why did I love Chanel? I think for me at the start it was the allure of it, and that I couldn't have it and I couldn't afford it and I couldn't attain it, if we're being honest. I think it became then something to aspire to. I've always loved handbags, I've always loved shoes, I've always loved clothes, but as I say, I've never really spent the money on designer clothes. I think it was the love of the bags that I just really wanted to be able to have one. And then whenever I discovered that there's a mini, I love a crossbody bag and I love bright colours. So combine the Chanel rectangle mini, which I love the shape of, I love the colours, that bag. This bag shape and style is just one of my favourites. So when I discovered they come in these sorts of colours, especially when I discovered it's chevron, I think for me that's a bit more modern than the quilting and that's my favourite. I just fell in love with them. And it was probably the wanting to be able to get there was part of it, if we're being frank. But also the colours and this style, being introduced to this style. Then whenever I got more into Chanel and realised they do the sequenced and they do fabrics and they do tweeds and they just, I like things that are a bit different and I like shapes that are a bit different. I like fabrics and the feel and the sequence. It just called to me, and I know it's probably a bit of a cliche because Chanel, it's not exactly original, but I love it. How do you think of the overconsumption and overconsumerism topics? I think this really is so dependent on who you're talking about. I think if you are consuming a lot of fast fashion, for example, with no intention to wear it all or to keep it all, like what I'm wearing, these jeans, as I keep telling you, are H&M, and I have had these jeans now I think for about 3 years. They used to be too tight and now they're baggy, look. Whee! So I actually will tell you a funny story. When I was at the highest weight, the 3 stone on that we've nearly got off, I split the side of the zip of these jeans because I was wearing them and they didn't actually really fit, and now they're really quite baggy. So that makes me feel better about me, and again, not shaming anybody else, it's just how I feel about myself. But they're H&M and I've worn them I think for about 3 years, so I do buy fast fashion, but I buy fast fashion and I wear it. I wear it repeatedly. I've just bought a lot of stuff from H&M for going on holiday because for summer clothes and our weather, I don't spend a huge amount of money on them. So I think if you're buying fast fashion to wear, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you're buying it to do hauls or to buy lots of it and you're never intending to wear it and it's just going to cycle and go straight into landfill, that's a different thing. And I think there is an overconsumption trend with some videos about, I would see videos about all the new things on Amazon you need to buy, or all the things you need for your kitchen, or all the things, you don't. You really, really don't. Like, I have got to 42 and have 2 kids and 4 dogs that I manage to look after without owning all of that. You don't need all of that. So I do think that there is a difference between people that are buying a lot of bags, a lot of clothes, a lot of items because they love them, use them, keep them, collect them, and people that are just get caught up in the cycle. But that being said, it's not my place to judge them. I do think though that some of that can be quite wasteful if there's no intention to actually use it or keep it. What and who is the inspiration in life that keeps you motivated? My mum certainly motivates me. I've told this story before. My mum was a single parent. She had 3 cleaning jobs when we were younger to keep myself and my brother. She worked exceptionally hard. She did without a lot to keep us and to give us. And that determination and that work ethic definitely is in me, and it has motivated me to work and to get to where I am in my business and to do the work and put the hours in and the blood, sweat and tears that was needed to get there and do that. So certainly my mum has motivated me to become who I am, I think, and my children continue to motivate me because I want to do the best for them and give them the best. I don't want them to be spoilt brats. I don't want to hand them everything on a plate. But I do want to know that I can provide for them and that if they need something, it will be able to be got. Not as in like, oh, here's your next Ferrari, but just if there's necessities that they will always be able to have what is needed. What do you think about people using and buying the novelty tote bags of luxury brands? I say buy what you love. Honestly, like some of my bags, people would be like, well, not this one because it's plain, but there's some of the colours and things like people are thinking, what? So I don't really tend to judge what people buy. I think buy what you love, and if you're going to love it, you're going to use it. I think what keeps the world interesting and fun is that we all have different interests, likes, choices. I'm happy I found your channel. You're one of my favourite internet personalities. Thank you so much. That is so kind. Bundle of Lisa. Imagine you started your luxe journey today. What would you get first to build out your wardrobe? I guess you could answer this to include accessories or clothes. As I say, clothes, I don't really buy a lot of designer, and I wouldn't start my luxe journey with designer clothes, because clothes, by the very nature of them, you're not going to get as much use out of unless you're wearing the same thing over and over and over again. What I like about the bags, and we get criticised, don't we people, for our love of these things, but we get criticised for the money we spend on bags. What I like about them is I still intend to be wearing a lot of these bags in 10 years time. I don't intend for them to be flash in the pan. So I would probably, if I was starting my luxe journey again, I would buy the Neverfull, because for me, for work, the GM is just, it's a fabulous bag. I would buy a bag like this, a colourful pop of colour crossbody bag for everyday use. I would buy a showstopper for evenings. It would probably be a Petite Mal first. Don't get me wrong, I love my sequins baguettes. I love the mini capucines. That's my favourite. So that would probably be what I would buy first, to have an evening showstopper type bag. And I would then buy a pair of trainers that I really love and can wear with both jeans and skirts and dresses. That being said, I'm wearing Adidas at the moment, so I don't know if they particularly need to be designer. And I would buy a pair of heels. I have a pair of Louboutins that are pink sequenced leopard print that are about, we lived in our old house and we've had this house 10 years. They're maybe 12, 14 years old and I still wear them. So if you get a good pair of designer heels that you love, you'll keep wearing them with outfits. So I would probably buy a pair of those as well. Robin Cole 9827. If I recall correctly, I don't believe you have any YSL bags. Are there any bags by that designer that you would like to have? I don't have any YSL. I used to have the Loewe and I sold it because the Loewe for me kind of did the same job as the Chanel 19 and I kept wearing the Chanel 19. So I no longer have that one. If I was going to buy a bag from YSL, it would be the eye care tote, the one that Steph has, the big one. I think that's really cool and I could wear that to work, but also that oversized slouchy look. It's very expensive though, it's gone up in price, but I think it's a really cool, pretty fab looking bag. Lauren Amendoza 4987. What is your dream made to order, special order handbag, any brand? We all know what this is going to be. It's going to be Mini Kelly. It's going to be a Mini Kelly because I don't think I'm ever going to get one. So if I had the chance to make a special order, that's what I would make. It would be a pop of colour. I would try to stay away from a pink because I have so many pink bags. And I really would be duplicating and then other bags would be worn less. But I would have fun with the big box of colours in Hermes. It would be a pop of colour. I would not do a different colour on the outside. I wouldn't do a different colour on the pulls or the stitching or anything. That would all be the same. But I would probably do a different colour on the inside. And then I would pick the hardware to go with whatever colour I had picked. And I would try to get one of the longer, thicker Kelly straps as well to go with it. I think that would be my dream made to order bag. Jeanette Freeland asked, do you ever take the lips bag out? When was the last time you took it out? That's that bag over, where's my finger going? This one. That is a Lulu Guinness bag. It's very, very old. That bag I've had probably 16 years, if not more. I haven't taken it out in quite a while. I do take it out the odd time and give it its moment because I still have a lot of memories with that bag, but it's a bag I use very rarely, but I will never get rid of, and it stays in this room. There's just so much mixed up with that bag that I remember, and I think it's a great piece to sit over there, and yeah, I love it. Gordon E. Jackas 5870. Are there any bags you've sold and bought back, or any you want to buy back? I've sold 3 LV bags and eventually I bought them all back. I sold my capucines years ago, but now compelled to buy another just yet. Sorry, the way I have with the others. The other sales I'm completely okay with. Actually, no. There is no bag that I have sold that I have then thought I want to buy that back. Generally, when I sell bags, I wait until I'm emotionally detached from them and that I don't really love them anymore and I'm ready to let them go. So there's never been a bag that I've sold that I've actually thought I regret that. I know a lot of people thought when I sold the Graffiti Mini to Meredith that I would think, oh, I need that bag back. But no, I'm quite happy with it living in Meredith's collection. I know she's very well looked after. Robin Cole, earlier this year or perhaps at the end of last year, you mentioned you were struggling with stress and possibly burnout. How are you doing now? Better, I hope. Thank you so much for asking that. I'm doing a lot better, but it took me to take steps. I can be a workaholic and I can get sucked right into work and I can sometimes not see the outside of it, and I can get very burnt out, and I have taken steps to help me with that. I now have help and I look after myself better, both mentally and physically. That has been very important for me because burnout and stress was something that I was feeling quite a lot. I get migraines, stress obviously triggers those, but that burnout feeling when you I need to run away, I can't cope. It's very, very overwhelming. And I don't think until I got to the point of suffering burnout that I had any understanding of what burnout is. I don't think I realised how destructive it is and how all-consuming it is. And it's not just, I used to think burnout was just, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I can't cope with this. Oh, it's really bad. No, it's worse than that. And thankfully I am in a much, much better place now. And the two are linked as well. That's what I'm saying about the weight loss and people commenting on the weight loss. It was only when I got to grips with that I was able to get to grips with this. The two for me are intertwined, and it took me to take a holistic view and approach to making myself better mentally, mind, body and soul to be able to actually get on top of things. And I'm in a very good place now. Thank you so much for asking that. But it has taken work and effort, and it took me to actively address it and not to just think some, golden unicorn was going to ride into the room and suddenly things would be different. Then I have a question. OxyYUSC, what are your thoughts about what's happening with Dior and labour exploitation in Italy, and would you consider purchase? I have a video on this. I've done a video on the Dior scandal and I will link that. Oh, that video will tell you exactly what I think. Am I buying Dior again? I'm not buying Dior right now. I want to see what they do and how they respond to this, because they have time to make it right, to change their I want to see their reaction. So there is a Dior bag that I had been about to buy, the Dior Montaigne box bag. I've talked about that. I have a host of points sitting on my Brown Thomas card and I was going to buy that bag with it. And I have paused that because I want to see how they respond. Living Lux with Meredith. Hello, my sister. Are you as excited about seeing me in a few weeks as I am about seeing you? Yes, I am. But Aer Lingus, stop the strikes, please. I need to get to New York. She will be waiting on me. It's like one of those movies, those romantic movies where you meet again in New York and they're standing at the top of the Empire State Building waiting on their one true love. That will be Meredith standing to welcome me. I know I think a lot about myself, don't I? But I am so excited. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And I really, really, really hope the strikes are sorted. Hot Gems Dallas says, you've been collecting Chanel a long time now. Will you weigh in on their quality and possible changes? I've made a video recently on Virginie Viard leaving Chanel. Yes, I can talk about the quality in videos. I talked about it in the Dior scandal video about the declining quality. And I think that it's something. I haven't bought a new Chanel bag since the sequenced one over there. I was about to say that as if it was a long time ago. That I bought in November, but I'd ordered it 6 months before. I have to say that one is there's no quality problems with that I can see, and it's sequenced and I've used it quite a bit. But yes, I can make a video on that, and I do have a video on Virginie leaving. Rosie Scott 3811, thank you so much for subscribing to my newsletter, Rosie, and you sent me an email back on it. I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do now have a free newsletter, which is linked in the description box if you want to sign up to that. What are your criteria to use when you want to sell a bag or bags? If you get seller's remorse, how do you get past it? Do you ever get buyer's remorse? If you do, how do you deal with it? Okay, I have never had seller's remorse because I make sure I'm fully detached from the bag before I sell it. I will put it away. Like if I'm thinking about selling one, it will be removed so I don't see it. I will see if I miss it. I will see if I think about it, if I look to buy it. So I make sure that I'm completely sure before I sell it, and I don't rush into selling something. I generally will be pretty certain by the time it goes. So I've never had seller's remorse. I did get buyer's remorse about the infamous green Fendi bag, the Fendi Baguette, which I then sold very quickly. Bought that on a whim. Shouldn't have bought it. But a lot of you have said to me, and I agree, that that was a good purchase because it actually really made me reflect and think about my buying. And I had buyer's remorse about that, and I sold it very, very quickly. It was a bag I never should have bought in the first place. And the last question is making me laugh. From Mr. Ryan Nguyen, will you have another child? Please no. And I mean that I do not mean that insensitively. I know that there are people out there that are struggling to get pregnant. I have been through issues with pregnancy myself. We did not have an easy journey to get our 2 children, and that is one of the reasons why I do not want another one. I couldn't go through it again. I don't think, I just don't think I don't think I could do it again. I think there was so much in that time, and my dad died suddenly around the same time, that was so difficult, that I am finally back to feeling more like myself than I have felt in a very long time. It was all tied in with the weight loss, and it's just, I feel myself again, and I don't think I could go back into the uncertainty and the risk and the trauma when it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go. And we have been to hell and back to have our 2 children, and I am so blessed that we have them. I adore them. They're healthy. I had a consultant who had to take exceptional care of me to get 2 children. I have 2 children, but I have lost 3 children. I can't do it again. And if you ever hear me telling you that announcement, something has went wrong. And again, I don't mean this insensitively, because I know there will be people struggling to get pregnant, and I'm not saying that flippantly, as in, oh no, I'm done. I'm blessed. I'm 43 years old in August. I've been through a lot with it, and I am not ever going to be ready to go back. And yeah, we're really blessed with what we have, and I just can't go back there. Had we not gone through those problems, and had we not had the experience we had, we did plan to have more than 2 children. We planned to have, my husband's from a big family, Irish, and we did plan to have more, but we got to the point when we had our youngest, although straight after we had our youngest with the hormones, I wanted another baby right away. But when we got there, we both then had to say, like, this has been a journey, not on our meds type. And I don't think it's hard. It's so hard. And anybody that's going through it, that's either trying to get pregnant, fertility issues, losing children, my heart goes out to you, because it's hard. And I know this was probably thinking that this was a very one answer question, but no, I do not plan to have any more children. I hope I answered all your questions and gave all the information that you were looking for. Thank you so much for asking me them. Thank you for taking the time to do that. I really do enjoy answering these. Thank you for watching me as ever. If there's anything you want to know more, you want me to make a video on, please do let me know in the comment box. Thank you for watching. Please take care. If you haven't yet, I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.